Sweet, sweet Alice, step through the looking glass. Step through the looking glass. Whimsical but illogical. Peculiar, strange. A white rabbit with a clock on a chain. He's late for a very important date. But I must follow, I must know where the white rabbit goes. Skeleton keys open everything. A wonderland key to change everything. Doors so small, wondering who could fit in there at all. A potion to drink, one sip it'll take. What a mistake. The wonderland cake, another mistake. Alice's tears begin a lake. Too big, the game is rigged. Peculiar, strange. A white rabbit with a clock on a chain. He's late for a very important date. But I must follow, I must know where the white rabbit goes. Friend or foe, the caterpillar, no smoke. Rings of wisdom, magic mushrooms in this kingdom size to control. Alice continues her stroll. Peculiar, strange. A white rabbit with a clock on a chain. He's late for a very important date. But I must follow, I must know where the white rabbit goes. Red-headed tea party so bizarre, and everything is strange by far, confusing and absurd. The conversation is a blur. Nonsensical riddles like playing a grasshopper as a fiddle. Why is the raven like a riding desk? I'm sure the answer is somewhere in the middle. It's all in perspective to say what you mean and to mean what you say. Peculiar, strange. A white rabbit with a clock on a chain. He's late for a very important date. But I must follow, I must know where the white rabbit goes. Sarcastic is he, definitely the Cheshire cat grinning. Advice on direction with no goals of his own. Persistent grin, philosophical debates. He knew the white rabbit was always gonna be late. Peculiar, strange. A white rabbit with a clock on a chain. He's late for a very important date. But I must follow, I must know where the white rabbit goes. Queen of hearts with unfair trials, executions for everyone all the while. She does this all with a frown, not a smile. Angry is she with her unforgivable deeds. 7, 5, 2, what do you do when it's off with your head? You paint the roses red. Ooh, painted the roses red. They'll soon find themselves dead. No, it's off with her head. Alice wakes up in her bed. Mis hijos, mamá les ama, mamá les encontrará y traerá a casa nuevamente para que podamos estar juntos para siempre. Walking, weeping and grieving, walking along the waterway, searching in vain. Where are you? What did I do? La traición, el dolor, jealousy reigning again. Vengeful embrace, I left them in the lane. Haunting the night, heartbroken, my tears never dry. My pain is the only thing alive. Mi corazón, mi corazón. I am the one who cries. I am the one who searches for eternity. One day I'll find, one day I'll look upon your faces again. La traición, el dolor, jealousy reigning again. Vengeful embrace, I left them in the lane. Heartbreak follows me to the afterlife. I roam the water's edge till we are together again. Mi corazón, mi corazón. La traición, el dolor, jealousy reigning again. Vengeful embrace, I left them in the lane. La traición, el dolor, jealousy reigning again. Vengeful embrace, I left them in the sirens of the Caspian Sea, the depths of the ocean we gather in splendor, sunken ships and treasure, luring sailors with our songs, hypnotic hymns, promises of bliss, whirling and twirling, the warmth of the ocean, spinning with souls in motion. Take caution, my friend, this could be the end. A mermaid's tale, your mortal soul frail. Follow.
Oh, okay. Welcome to Paranormal Roundtable. I'm your host, Josh Turner. This is PRT. Join us in the real reality. This is the real reality, guys. This is where we're at. Let's see what we got going tonight. Anybody else's internet just been acting crazy the last week? It's crazy, dude. It's just not even working right, dude. I don't know. It's just not. Last night, the stream, just so everybody knows, last night the Patreon ended abruptly. The stream, it was, the show was over. We were closing it down. So, I mean, otherwise we would have started it back up and try to,
Yeah,
but,
it just cut out.
Yeah, it just cut out. But that was it. And in fact, hold on one second. Let me do one more thing and we'll start talking.
970.
Yeah. Lost his freaking Skynet. Oh man! So took my brother to the doctor today. Yesterday was Nelly. Today was my brother, and my doctor's a good guy. I don't have to set up a special appointment for myself. So a weird thing happened to me at the doctor's office. So pray for me, please, because I got to get an MRI on my knee. My knee is not good. Doctor said it could possibly need surgery, but I got to go and get it MRI'd first. He's just saying from what the preliminary looks like it could be, and from what I'm telling him. But what do I know? I'm not a doctor. That's why I go to the doctor.
Really hope you don't need surgery.
It's what it is, man. This is what it is. So if y'all could pray for me, I'd appreciate that. So a couple things here. We'll get started. We had the Patreon yesterday. Tonight's show, let's call this the prequel, I guess, to last night's show. This is a prequel, literally what it is. And this show stands on its own. I mean, you don't have to go run out and get the Patreon to know what happened afterwards to these people, but it would put things in perspective. And tonight's show is about a guy named Justin from Missouri. But I do suggest you getting the Patreon. That's up to you. You can do what you want. But every Tuesday we do Bigfoot and the Nature of Reality. And you might say, well, Wolf, what does Bigfoot have to do with tonight? We're talking about Dogman. Did you name this something? What is the name of this? I don't even know what this is called.
Dogman Encounter in Missouri.
Dogman Encounter in Missouri. Okay, I guess that's pretty bland. That's kind of what it is. Not really, but it's more than just a Dogman encounter. It's what happens when you disturb one of them and they decide to make it personal. That's what I think. And you listened to the show last night, and then I purposely put Justin's encounter from 10 years before at the end of the show. So you go back and watch the Patreon, join the Patreon, check it out, see the show. You'll see what I'm talking about. Because, and I also, I think it was toward the beginning of the show, I talked about two women, right? One of them was Adriana. The other one, I told her sister's encounter on Dogman a long time ago about the Ozarks, and I think it was the Howler, because it was something that had horns, and her stepchildren saw it. And then two weekends later, I say 2 weekends because it wasn't 2 weeks; it was like a week and a half, like not the next week, but the weekend after. 2 weekends after she saw it, whatever. But it was after she told her sister about it, like the Tuesday or Wednesday after the holiday when she saw it with her kids. I shouldn't say her stepchildren. That's what she said, their stepchildren, but they're pretty much her children, right? She raised them, whatever. But her sister saw something in those woods that was similar, but not in the same woods. In the woods, but not in the same woods. Clear across the state. Actually, where she saw hers was almost 150 miles away. So when you do the math, you're like, why would she see something very similar to her sister 2 weeks or a week and a half later at 150 something miles away? Then you start to kind of wonder, like, how does this work? Because if you were one of these flesh and blood people, you'd be like, oh no, that can't happen. No, what are the odds? What are the odds? That wouldn't happen. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. And then they start to smoke.
Short circuit.
And they fall over.
Cannot compute.
That is very rare when that happens. When they should. That's only happened at 359 conferences I've been at.
Yeah.
When I talk to them. So if you see me at a conference and you believe like a dumbass, don't come up to me and talk to me because I'm just gonna start talking like this. I'm gonna be like something gibberish. Yeah, right here.
The Charlie Brown.
like Fair and Loathing.
Oh yeah.
He's like, let's start. Well, you know what's funny about that show though? In the book too. Fair and Loathing. I've read all his books. Hunter Thompson, great author. When he talks, he says Lacerda.
Yeah, the photographer's name
is Lacerda.
Yeah,
the Lacerda Files. There's a freaking reptiles, man. They're freaking reptiles. Yeah, they're freaking reptiles. Freaking lizards, man.
Yeah, he puts like little.
Yeah, and when the guy's on the phone, he's like, they cut out her pineal gland. Adrenochrome.
Like drilled holes in her damn head.
Holes in her head.
How's your mama?
Satanist or something like that. How's your mama?
Yeah.
And then when he's looking at the woman and her face kind of goes, and he's like, oh, go.
Like the way her face morphs, it's like becomes lizard-like real quick and then goes back.
And you know what's funny is they go to this really fun place, the Bazooko Circus, where everybody's just having all kinds of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says something really weird. He says, the Bazooko Circus is what would have been happening if the Nazis would have won.
Yeah.
You're thinking, that's a weird thing to say. So if they would have won, we'd have been having fun and going to the circus? What the hell? So, damn. Maybe he knew something we didn't. I don't know. It's just really weird that he talks about this weird shit. You know, in the movie, too, there's a part where Benicio del Toro, he says this. He says, I mean, the guy's like, you know, the guy he got the adrenaline gland from, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I mean, the guy's like, why would I want to touch children?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man, help me out. I'm not a werewolf.
Yep.
What?
Swears you didn't do it.
He swears he didn't do it, man.
Yeah.
He's trying to justify defending a guy, and the guy's like, oh, he's like, he's not a werewolf. Why would you say all those weird things? Those are weird, really things, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and then when Hunter Thompson's character in the movie takes the adrenochrome, he hallucinates that Benicio del Toro's character turns into a demon with horns and breasts, and it's like, yeah, it's Baphomet.
Yeah, it was. And Jordan Cogburn says Hunter was not a well man. Really? Lots of cocaine, lots of drugs, but you know everything he says in those books and in the movies, you'll see him.
Even a broken clock is right.
That's what's happening. Altruition says camps. I don't even. Okay, dude. No, yeah, whatever. If that's what you want to believe, if that's your reality, I'll let you go with that. That's your reality. You guys got to catch up, man. And then the files. Oh, the files, man. What are these people doing now? Now they took. Everybody was talking about now that the clone. Now he's gone. What happened to that?
Mm-hmm.
You can't unsee it. You either saw it or you didn't. I mean, I saw it. And people over here saying this is in the files and that's in the files, it's not in the files. Whatever. Go read them. Why just don't let people tell you, go look at it yourself. If you can stomach it, go look at it yourself. Go to the Department of Justice. It's on the Department of Justice. And everybody's just flipping out, man, but they don't want to do it. They don't want to do the homework. They don't want to do the footwork. Yeah. Left my freaking cup at the house. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm reading too much into everything.
Maybe everything's just all right.
I think so.
Maybe everything's fine.
I think fine. that
just sink back into our pods.
They're just coincidences, man.
Mm-hmm. Reading too much into it.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't.
Camera's blurry on y'all. What's going on?
Probably.
Is it?
Are we blurry?
Yeah, it looks blurry.
That's weird. Maybe I need to get behind the camera and mess with the focus settings or something.
Yeah, Tony looks very blurry.
But anyway, yes, we're definitely reading too much into all this stuff. Actually, everything's okay because God's chosen people are in charge. and they're going to steer us to the promised land. Everything's going to be good. Everything's awesome.
They're concerned about us with the left and the right.
Mm-hmm.
They're concerned for us. Or they're concerned for us. BB came out and said the left is saying this, the right is saying that,
and we should listen to him.
And I was watching this, and I was going like, "Is he talking about? Is that what's happening over there? Is there a left and a right problem over there? What's going on?" Oh, he's talking about our country. Oh shit! Yeah. For a minute there, I thought you were the president, and then I remembered this is America. Why are you? What does that have to do with us? It's like Tucker said to Huckabee. I mean, the border of Lebanon and whatever. What does that have to do with me? Mm-hmm. I'm an American. I don't give a shit about the Lebanon border. Why would I care about that? Oh, well, there's 700,000 Americans over here. Yeah, they're called dual citizens. Maybe they should choose a side. Are you for America or are you not? Are you American or are you something else? It's just a question. It's just a thought. I wonder about these kind of things. It keeps me up at night wondering what's going to happen to my land, my home. And where's Texas going to fall in all of this? When you're done trying to loot it and do whatever, grape it and everything else you want to do to it. Because let's be honest, you're going to need us and all of our resources. Right? Because I'm pretty sure Texans aren't going to put up with the shit that y'all are putting up with in the rest of the country. And a lot of people who really just do not give a shit, not only about the Middle East, but what the hell's going on in the other parts of the country. Nobody cares. We have our jobs to do. We have businesses to run. We have mouths to feed. We have things we got to do. I love the country, but I don't love everything about it. And that's one of the problems I have is why would I give a shit about your left, right, whatever? Your opinion, when you're over there and your opinion about us is left, right, whatever, I don't care. Yeah, that's something I don't care about. Tiger Uppercut says, my dream that us Texans are going to be just left alone. Well, that's a dream that's never going to happen. That's not going to happen, son. And I'll tell you why. Because we have something that they want. We have oil and we have gas and we have a lot of it. We have more than the entire rest of the country. Don't let them lie to you. Don't come to me and say that ain't true. I live here. And my family, a bunch of my family work in the oil industry. Some are roughnecks. Some have cleaning services for the oil industry. Half of them are ranchers and cattle and farmers and whatever. And a lot of them are in the oil business. Don't tell me what I know. Wolf Camp, Gulf Shelf. Don't tell me. Don't unless you know and you've researched it, don't say shit. Don't tell me what I know. Because I have people kind of tell me, that's not true what you said, the Middle East and no. Where are you getting your information from? Where are you getting your information from? I live here. If you live here and your family works in that industry, then you can tell me about it. And I'll be like, oh, okay, you've proven me wrong. But you can't. It's an impossibility. Because I already know. I know the stats. I don't give a shit what this other state is saying. They're the biggest economy. I don't give a shit. You don't have the resources to compare to us. And we haven't even opened them up. We have enough natural gas and oil to power this country for the next 400 years. So people in Texas, I hope you're listening, my fellow Texans. If you think that these people are just going to let you pull away, no. We're going to have to defend ourselves. It's a shame. But I hope that a bunch of our brothers and sister states will join us when it is time to make change, because things are the way they are until they're not. You ever heard of that? A lot of people will always, they love that saying, things, this is the way they are. The older generation used to tell me that growing up. I'm like, yeah, it's the way it is because you made it that way. And you allowed it to be that way. You mortgaged off the future for us, your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren. And now the Zoomers are having to deal with stuff. But the Zoomers don't have any, I've noticed that like none of them have any allegiance to those other foreign countries. Thank God. They don't give a shit about all that. They're wondering why they can't find jobs. They're wondering why they can't pay off their student loans, and they're wondering why they're broke and why things aren't working the way that they're supposed to, and why Americans are being put last behind foreigners, people that, God bless them, some of them come here for a better life. I get it, but dude, we are full. The store is closed. For the love of God. ICE isn't perfect. They've done some shit, man. Believe me, I didn't agree with that last thing they did. But that's an unfortunate thing that happens when your country is completely screwed and in the toilet because the last regime run by a clone, I don't even think he was a part of it, and they age very quickly. So that's what happens. And now look where we're at. We're at each other's throats. We're waiting to get people in here, folks. 240. We're at each other's throats politically, right? We're at each other left, right, right. And then we're at each other's throats racially. We're at each other's throats gender, religiously. And while everybody's busy fighting over who's right and wrong and who should have what and who's doing what and who's in the bad guy, whatever, the real bad guys are getting away with murder, literally. Everybody's talking about these files, but I don't see anybody really doing shit.
No.
Because they got you so busy working. Everybody says the same thing. Man, I got bills to pay. I got things to do. I get it. You do. We all do. Gwen, thank you for that donation. I appreciate that. God knows we need it now. We lost the big account today. Really sucks. Business is in the toilet. I could come up here and just be real, just nasty, mean, salty, angry, whatever. I'm not even angry, salty, mean, whatever. I'm just telling you what's going on. Try not to be too cynical, but damn, dude. I mean, what do you want me to do? Got to go punch somebody in the face? There's a lot of people masquerading right now. There's good people. There's good guys. But they're not good guys. They wouldn't even be in the public eye if they were. And somebody said something about Candace Owens. I'm going to say something about this. Love her or hate her, they're like, she's trying to build her show and she's just trying to build her numbers and make money. No shit. Because if she doesn't build her numbers and make money, she won't have a show. And she can't reach people if you don't have more money and more numbers. I know how it works. You have to have more people so that you can get more people. Does that make sense to you? You have to have money to make money. You don't just go and do so. If you don't have money, you don't make money. That's something that people that you could tell these people who know and people who don't. I had a guy one time sit down with me and he told me, I'm a businessman. And everything he said to me spoke to me the opposite. You're a businessman, huh? You're a businessman? And this is what he told me. He says, red fish, blue fish, I'm alpha male fish. White fish? Ooh, black fish. Ooh, grilled fish. Uh-huh. Then he got walked off. I was like, oh, I stand corrected. That there is a businessman. He's a fishmonger. Or he's as quote Hunter Thompson, an awful jackass. I don't know. I just think that people, they get too caught up in their own bullshit. At least to your own self be true. Have you noticed that? There's some people that'll lie and lie and lie. And you're looking at them and you're going like, that person's lying their ass off. But do they know that they're lying? Or have they crossed the threshold, what I call the Rubicon of the mind? Like Caesar. When he crossed the threshold of the Rubicon, he says, I'm going to go to Rome. And they're going to put me on trial for what they sent me to do. And then they're going to kill me because they're jealous. They're angry. The story behind him is tragic. He died before Jesus. But him and Jesus are inextricably linked. You know how? Because they were both betrayed. Brutus and Judas. Caesar and Jesus, respectively. Et tu, Brute, right? His own protege.
Mm-hmm.
stabbed on the Senate floor. Now they say he stabbed 23 times. I remember it being 33. I always thought that was funny when I was growing up. I was like, not funny, haha, but funny, weird. Jesus was 33, supposedly. He was 30, Here it is. Again, the numbers. They come up, the numbers. They sent him to fight the Gauls, to settle Gaul, and Pompey and Crassus were like, hey, you go do that. We'll stay here and we'll take care of Rome. Crassus is like, I'll be in the east if you need me. Like, okay. And Caesar started sending back treasure earmarked for the Romans. The problem was he was sending it back to be distributed because when they came into town, what they were doing, if you read the real story, he was having them throw out the treasure to the proletariats, and then they took the chest on the Appian Way, then they took it and said, here you go, here's the Senate's treasure. And the Senate was like, we would like you to not throw gold to these people that are not like us. Can you tell Caesar to stop? And they're like, let's just, for argument's sake, let's give him a funny accent, like a Cockney.
Mhm.
Oh, you know me, Lord. You know old Caesar. Oh, he's always going to do things his way. You pissing shit, mate. Yes, yes. Bit garlicky on the breath. Yes, my good boy, could you run along and tell Caesar? There's two things that are weird going on here, my fellow. One, Caesar's not in charge. And number two, why are we talking like we're from Britain? It's odd, isn't it? A bit odd. Well, because all the movies were made there. Right?
Mhm.
So we think British people spoke like, the Romans were like, hey,
Yeah.
they talk like this.
Everybody
that.
spoke like that back then.
Everybody had their own accent like that, yeah. Did they? And the nobles, they talk like this. They said, hey, Caesar. What's Caesar? What's he doing? This guy. That's how they did it, right?
Yes.
And then Mark Antony, he was always swilling. He's like, yes, bring me some roast pig. Yes, I will eat that. And bring me 3 beautiful women from the Gauls camp. Yes, I'm sort of a weird piratey type character and blah, blah, blah. This is what I always thought when I was a kid. Right? This is how they were. This is how they did what you thought, right, in your head. And then you're like, why did these people hate Caesar? Don't you know? He was a dictator. He was a fascist. You're like, what was that again? He was into fashion? I said he was a fascist. What is it? What? He did what? He was like Hitler and the other guy from Italy, the Mussolini. He made the trains run on time, but he was a bad guy. And for years, that was what happened, right? And Caesar deserved it. What he got, he was a dictator. But you know what happened when they killed him on the Senate floor? The people were like, "Where is our benefactor that gave us all these gold trinkets and things that we used to buy bread and to live?" We liked old Caesar. He was a great guy. Alms for the poor. They went apeshit on the Senate because the people had spoken. They said, "We admonish you for what you've." They went nuts. The Senate had to abandon and go run out of town like a bunch of scared chickens because the people were like, "We don't give a shit about your democracy, your republic, whatever your false promises are hollow to us. We appreciate the gifts of a benign dictator over the empty promises of a nobility senate." Eat shit. They wanted to kill Brutus. They wanted to kill all of them. Every single one of them that was involved. Cicero, all of them. No, they had nowhere to go. They were like, "Oh shit, we've really pissed them off. And so Augustus, Caesar's nephew, him and Mark Antony were like, hey, let's get these guys. You don't get to do that to somebody and then you just, everything is okay. You don't get to murder people and stay in power. So when you cross that threshold, that's a threshold that Caesar crossed, the Rubicon, right? And like I was saying, is the Rubicon of the mind. Once you cross over that to that point, it's hard to make it back. That's my point. Like there is a point where you don't cross unless you're Caesar. But you know the price he paid. The price he paid was that he was going to die. And you know, when he went alone to the Senate, Mark Antony told him, you know, you need to let me go with you. He's like, doesn't look good. You know, they look at you kind of as a brutish bodyguard type guy. I mean, I gotta be Caesar. I gotta be, you know, I gotta do this. I think in my opinion, part of him knew he was going to die. At some point they were going to kill him. I don't think he thought that the senators were going to pull out knives and just stab him to death right there. But they couldn't get anybody to do it because everybody they tried to get to do it was like, hey man, we're having problems. And one of the biggest affronts, the people that they sent him to go and deal with and kill, the Gauls, he brought some of them back, some of their chieftains, and said, hey, they need to be a part of this too. Let them have a voice. We conquered these people. We kicked the shit out of them. They need leaders. They want to be Roman. And they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Good point to Cicero's little shit ass. Caesar, he tells him, he says, you know, you sent me to go kill these people. Then you said, hey, you've killed too many. You need to come back and stand judgment for what you've done, right? Isn't that what you said? Right? Right? He told the guy, what was the guy that talked like this on Rome? What was his name? He would always bang his staff on the ground. What was that guy's name? Jeez, he was the elder statesman. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, he sat there and he gave a little speech about how, you know, what Caesar was doing was wrong. And even Pompey and everybody were just appalled at his behavior. Like he's going bananas over there in Gaul. Or because of the treasure that was being sent back, he kept giving part of it to the people. And the people were like, we love Caesar. They're like, he bought his place in at the table with the spoils of war. He should have gave it to us. Cato. Like he addressed Cato. He says, you know, Cato, I have to tell you, Caesar's the bad guy, blah, blah, blah. I give a stupid little speech because I'm a stupid ass. And he's just dripping with bullshit. It's just venom. Anger because everybody's looking at them and going, what are y'all doing? We're recalling Caesar to Rome to stand in judgment for what he's done. What has he done besides do what you asked him to do? Now you want to say, hey, we got to punish this guy. He's a bad guy. He's a warmonger. He's over there just going crazy over there. What's going on over there? Treasure chests coming back every week, looting that place, which is what we wanted him to do, but not so efficiently and not be so popular. So Caesar stayed gone for years out there in French Gaul. You know, that's France, right? And northern Spain, that area. He's conquered Gaul, Alpine Gaul, Transalpine Gaul, whatever. He did what he did. He comes back and they say, you know, you have to leave your legions on the other side of the river. That's the rules. And Caesar says, rules? Whose rules? Because if I go across this river by myself, unarmed and defenseless, you're going to try me for being a criminal and you're going to kill me. You don't know that. No, I do know that. And my men aren't going to my legions aren't just going to sit there and wait around for it. Oh, no, you know what? Go ahead, me lord. We'll stay here. Then we'll be pronounced outlaws and they'll march armies out here to destroy us too. Or we can march back into Rome like heroes and like we own the place because we got that dog in us, along with our now Celtic allies. Well played. Well played, my man. Plan B. We just kill his ass on the Senate floor with the mustache. And yes, we just got to kill this guy on the Senate floor. I just poppycock with it. Every time we try to hire someone, they're like, "Hey, we like him." There's all kinds of things that went on. What's crazy? People know the gist of it, right? But they don't know the real nuances of it. What happens? He comes back. He confronts them. He's standing there with his Gaelic bodyguards there, and they're like, "Oh man, Caesar, you're here with your legions." He's like, "Yeah, I thought that you guys were angry. I just, you know what? I wanted a little insurance just in case." Weird thing, I know my mind just kind of works, but I thought you guys might try to do something to me. Why would you? What made you think that? I mean, the scrolls you sent, like, "Hey, we're gonna kill you," Oh, you know what? Cato is getting old. He's got dementia. I think he's probably smoking a little bit. He's been just acting really weird. Ain't that right? Cicero's like, "Oh, yes. He's been acting strange. We would love you to be." He's like, how about emperor? I think we all can agree. Come on, guys, stand up. We're all clapping. You are the emperor. And there wouldn't be a finer emperor in all the kingdom of Rome. Yes. You bastard. You've outwitted us. What was that? I said I like to whittle. I'm doing it right now. And cry at the same time. My mother, she did it with onions. It's a habit. I'm nervous. Don't kill me. Caesar's like, I would never do that. Why would I do that? That's barbaric. Kind of like the things I was doing in Gaul for you. And then you decided I was a little too popular. Maybe I had designs on something, right? That's the problem right there. Then they go, okay, now we have to deal with this guy because the people love him. And then you always got that one guy who's like, I'm confused. I mean, he does do a lot for the people. They're like, shut up. I'm just saying, like, if we did those things, maybe the people would love us too. And we could be as popular as C. They slap him upside the head. Shut up. Shut up, Shice. This is not just, you were someone's nephew. That's why you were here. What do we do? Brutus, your family's rich. Brutus is like, well, me? Why do I got to be involved in this? He brought me in. I like the guy. You like the guy, but do you love him more than you love the Republic? And they're like, well, the Republic, it's all a matter of perspective. It's now an empire. It's always been an empire, just called the Republic. Now, make a choice. Here is a dagger. Put it in he's dropping it. Put it in stop, Brutus. You're a part of this. Okay, fine. All right, fine. I'm a bucko 5. What do I do? You just thrust it into him. When does this happen? On the morrow. And then it never happened. And then on the morrow, and the morrow, and the morrow. In the meantime, he's just getting better and bigger and stronger. And there's people over there. They're tweeting, they're angry. They got their phones out and they're like, man, this dude's just trying to make his power base stronger, man. I just see this guy, Caesar. He's all over the social media, man, like on YouTube and whatever, and all he's doing is just trying to build his pace and make his, get money and stuff. It's like, throw it off, man. Can't condescend me, man. I'll kill you, man. Not like, But they're like, very good, very good. Continue with that slander everywhere you go. Graffiti the walls. He's horrible. He's a bad guy. Everything bad you can possibly think of, slow him down. Slow him down. Tell everyone that when you try to build your channel or your audience that it's bad. Stop them. Stop him. Do it. Post haste. And what happens? the next thing you know, the people are kind of divided. Maybe Caesar's not a good guy because the Senate's saying he's doing all these things. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, I'm just gonna eat my nachos, but I like the games. The games are awesome. Oh, look at that lion. It just ate that guy's balls. Anyway, they're just, and they're up in the state. They don't know. They're just kind of trying to figure, do you think Caesar's a bad guy? I mean, he has seizures. That's why they're called Caesars. Was he possessed of the devil? Like Pluto got in him or something? I don't know. I don't know, man. It's weird. Like, they're saying all these bad things. I don't know. It's just, but he's giving us money and bread. I mean, the economy's good. Like, everything's great.
They wouldn't lie to us, would they?
Yeah, but if you look at your Twitter, he's on there all the time saying mean things to people. I just don't think that guy can be. We don't need him. That guy, he's crazy, man.
The Senate wouldn't be in charge if they just lied to people like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
how can they lie to people? Them. I bet you, because he always walks into the Senate. He's always got these men with him, like these soldiers. Like, why doesn't he stop doing that? If he stopped doing that, then it would prove to us, because the Senate said, hey, and they did say this, like, if he stops bringing his bodyguards into the Senate with these brutish men, their testosterone is too high for us. We can't. It makes my heart race with her. Just, ew. One of them looked like he was wearing tree branches. I don't know. What is this guy? Is he worshiping the trees or something? They smell like cow poop. It's just an affront to the gods. The gods. And then the people are like, yeah, maybe that's, Caesar done, I like you, but, you couldn't be bringing your guys, your soldiers in, man. Because every leader after Caesar always had soldiers and armor people around him all the time. Because Caesar says, okay, I'll prove to you that I'm in favor, that I have the God's favor or whatever. I won't take my people into the Senate. I won't do that. And they didn't kill him right away. They waited a few days. The Ides of March, right? And then they killed the shit out of him. They played him. They played him back. But in the end, it was really a three-parter, right? In the end, every one of them, to a man, was killed, slaughtered, hung up by their balls, or they were decapitated. Some of them were burned alive. This is the price you pay for betrayal, for being a traitor. It's just the truth. And look what happened to the people who killed Jesus. The temple. God don't play. Read Dante's Inferno. What does he say? Brutus. He's right there with Judas. These are pagans, foreign, but the same rules apply. You pay for that. Being that traitor, being that backhanded, underhanded. And that's what's happening right now. All of these people who are bowing down to a foreign power, they are worshiping that golden calf. They are the Brutuses, the Judases. It's a Judas goat. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And they're lying to you. And they're telling you that all these other people that are literally trying to free you, that they're the bad guys. That Jesus, he was a magician. He learned a bunch of bad things in Egypt. Join us and you won't be not having fun in no time. That guy. No bueno. Salvation for all mankind? I don't think so. We are special. Greeks and Gentiles alike. I don't think so, dude. Get rid of him. 20 pieces of silver, my friend. Do it. Get rid of him. And then the rest of your eternity, you'll be regretting your decision. You think Brutus and Judas, if they had to do it over again, they would be like, "Oh man, I really screwed up." Would they do it? Would they change? If you not giving them the benefit of knowing the outcome, but rewinding it and playing it back. Is there an alternate reality where that happened? I don't think so. I think in every reality, that is the symbol of betrayal. You know how many people are those Brutuses and Judases are running around in your own family? Everywhere you look, they're everywhere. I'm telling you. It's a shame. You have to make a choice. Do you want to serve this other God, or do you want to serve the true living God? Who do you want to serve? The Father of Christ, or the people who don't like Christ? They don't like him, right? You want to serve them? Because obviously they're not serving the Father of Christ because they don't believe in Christ. So therefore they're not serving the Father of Christ. So who are they serving? Well, they're serving up people, that's for sure. Billions and billions served. You know what they're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep. You're not talking about the people they served the food to. I'm talking about the people they literally served as food.
Goy slop.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. Caesar gave us a preview of what was to come. When someone gives you gifts and asks for nothing in return but loyalty and wants to make things better, and that's what he did. The Pax Romana never would have happened. Look it up, Pax Romana, under Augustus. It never would have happened if Julius hadn't done what he did and crossed that Rubicon and said, hey, here I am. But you're not going to take me. But he put everything in motion before it was too late. And if they hadn't done what they did, the rest of the Caesars would not have had the contempt for the Senate that they did. Forever after that, there was this tension between the Senate and the Caesars. Forever. They set the tone for that horribleness that went on later. And Augustus, he was a stopgap. He stopped it for 4 decades. But when he was gone, it started all up again. From Tiberius all the way to Elagabalus and beyond. Contention, war, strife, famine, everything you could think of. Same thing's going on here. This is the end of the republic. We're not a republic. We're an empire. Let's be honest. We're in the last throes of it. The difference between the empire and the republic is the truth. You just stop lying and calling it a republic, and you just say what it is. Start calling it an empire, because that's what it is. Right? Mm-hmm. So anyways, let's get started here. We got 327 people in here. Everybody always shows up late. It's PRT. It's kind of like a weird thing, I guess, you guys like to do to me, because I do it too. I show up late, so then everybody's like, yeah, fuck that guy. We're going to show up late, right?
Let's show him.
We'll show you, my lord. Right. So I talked to this guy, Justin, from Missouri. And here's what happened. And y'all already know if you were on the Patreon yesterday. The rest of you don't know because you weren't on the Patreon yesterday. So here's what happened. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown. There were some encounters that happened in the Ozarks. If you want to know more, go watch the Patreon. Justin had his before those. Before those. What happened, and I'll recap the story. I told it on the show yesterday, but I told an abbreviated version. Him and his wife, she used to drag him out to the woods. And Justin's like, it's not that I didn't like the woods. He goes, I grew up in that area. And if you want to know what area it is, for sake of time, I'm not going to bother. Go look at the Patreon. Went over a map, and I showed you all the area, right? So we know. You know, if you know, you know. If you don't, it's your own fault. So here's what happened. So he's in Missouri. And he's basically just, his wife is an amateur aspiring photographer. So she goes out there into the woods and likes to take these these pretty pictures from all these different state parks. There's a million of them. There's a million caves in Missouri too. Like they're everywhere. Like it's literally, they call it the Show Me State, but it's really the Show Me a Cave State. And they were actually going to call it the Cave State. That's a real thing. So this is what happened. They're out there and they're hiking around in this one area near the Merrimack River. But it's not that close. It's about a couple miles in and away from it. But the river's right there. And they're hiking through this area with all of this foliage and whatever. And there's like this little creek that runs through there. And he's like, man, she had me going through all these areas, crawling around, and I ended up getting poison oak, poison. I can't remember what he said it was, something, whatever it is out there, poison up his ass. It's literally what his words, not mine. Excuse me for my cursing, whatever. But it was up his butt, and he got in his underarms, and it was horrible. It was on my neck. I was scratching, like, hey man, you got any of that calamine? He was scratching. He had a hard time. He said it was bad. He goes, it was awful. He said I had to go to the doctor for this. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was that they took a photo or photos of a creature, of a weird creature. This was 1996, and it was laying on its side, tucked back in behind. He said it was almost like a bed, like the way it had made with the grass and everything, and there were sticks underneath it. He's like, and they see it, and they come up on this thing, and they can hear it breathing. And his wife is like, oh my gosh. It's a puppy. Let me pet it. And she didn't say that. They come up on this thing, and it's this grayish looking creature. The upper body looks kind of like a wolf, but it's like a man with like a wolf's head. The head looked absolutely wolf-like. It was asleep. This thing is really getting to me. It was asleep. Yeah, that's better. And so this thing, whatever it was laying on its side, and they had to back away slowly, but she snapped several photos of it until the end of a roll. They had 6 to 8 photos, she said. She couldn't remember exactly what. And when they left the area, they took off running. I mean, they were like, let's get out of here. This thing did not wake up. But she was like, we have photographic proof of this thing. It's like a werewolf. She called her mother and her sister. And Justin was like, she's telling everybody. And I'm like, you might not want to be saying all that because you don't know what this is. And we'll call her Carol. He said, Carol, you're telling everybody about this thing. Let's get the photos back. He said, I had a weird feeling about this. And I said, this is kind of funny, but I said, why? He goes, because I had a freaking nightmare every night while we were waiting for those photos, 2 nights. Because back then, folks, if you don't know, and you're a Zoomer, you might not know, you didn't just have a magic brick that you walked around that took photos of everything. You didn't have that. Yeah. But now you do, right? So in the ancient times, in the long, long ago, right, back in the time of Caesar and the Celts, I'm joking, we had these things called cameras. And people are like, you mean a phone? So we had these cameras that didn't have phones, right? They were just cameras. Y'all know. But anyways, they had film, and I'm not joking because some people don't know this. So if you're a Gen X or a boomer, just play along because this is, some of these people do not know this. You had the film didn't. There was a kid who told me he thought that film was instantaneous. Like you would take it in and get it developed right there, and you'd walk out. I was like, no, you had to drop it off.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually your brother told me that. I'm trying to be mean, but your brother's an idiot. He told me, he said, I thought that you just took it in and then that day and you walked out with it. And I said, what are you talking about, boy? You had to wait a couple of days. Yeah, days. Sometimes 2 or 3 days, depending on how high the people were. You call up there to Eckers and they'd be like, yeah. They're like, yes, can I get my film? I dropped it off. It's been 2 days. Oh, shit. When they say that, they haven't done it. I'm getting right to it. It should be ready this afternoon. And then they don't answer the phone all day. Then you have to drive up there to Eckerd's or CBS or Walgreens. You're like, I've been waiting for my film. What's going on? There's always some shaggy-haired guy with glasses. I kid you not. Or maybe that was just my experience. I don't know. Oh, yeah, dude. It should be ready tomorrow for sure, man. Yeah. You drive by there. It's like midnight. You see the light on in the photo area. This freaking guy. Come in the next day. It's here, man. Right? You know what? Oh, shit.
Oh, crap. It's one of these envelopes, man.
Let me find it. Give me till lunchtime. It's 9 a.m. It's been 4 days. Anyways, so what happens is they drop the film off. He says, for 2 days, I'm having nightmares, dude. I'm having freaking dreams. The first night, he goes, I had a dream. He goes, I dreamt about that thing because it was freaking creepy and it was weird. Right? Weird. He's like, unbeknownst to us, he's like, my children. He goes, my first child was already, they were having dreams. He goes, my children didn't say anything. They both had a nightmare, and guess what? The boogeyman. He said my daughter was always talking about the boogeyman because my grandpa told her that the boogeyman was going to get her one time, and then there was the boogeyman every time. There's the boogeyman. She's like, Daddy, the boogeyman, the boogeyman, the boogeyman. He says, well, I'm so tired of this boogeyman. Where's he at? I'm going to beat him up. So what he did one Halloween, he put a bunch of straw into a heavy bag that was busted, and he punched the straw out of it and said he killed the boogeyman. Drew a face on it and everything. So that was it. He said, and she was like 6 years old. Okay, thank you, Dad. But the boogeyman's invisible. What? Yeah, I changed the rules. I altered the deal. Pray I don't alter them further. She pulls out her lightsaber.
Start punching out the
He's
air.
like, okay, sorry. Got a very special child. She's got a set of special skills.
Yeah.
She can make the boogeyman invisible. I think you'd better play along, right?
Just do like Major Payne and fire off a couple rounds into the closet. Bam, bam. You ain't there no more.
He's bleeding out.
Yeah.
So, anyways, she's like, no, Dad, the boogeyman is invisible. You can't beat him up. But I thank you for making that and doing that demonstration. That's awesome. You're a good boxer. So Dad decides, he's like, she's obsessed with this. So she comes to me a couple days later. I've been having dreams. He's a welder, right, by trade. He says, I'm getting up early, getting ready to go to work, and my daughter comes right now. She's like, Dad, I'm having a hard time. I'm having trouble. He said, what's wrong? She says, the boogeyman's turned into a wolf. She said, I think he's the wolf man, not no boogeyman no more. He said, as cute as it was, he's like, I picked her up off the steps and I set her down and I said, Elsa, her name's Elsa. He says, Elsa, tell me, you need to tell Dada what the boogeyman looks like. She goes, Dada, it's not a boogeyman no more. He's a wolf. He's mean. And he said that he wants you a mommy. He said, dude, this is what he told me. Justin told me, he says, sir, he's like, all the blood drained out of my head. I thought I was going to pass out. I was like, oh, what the hell are you talking about? She says, yeah, I've been having these weird dreams, bad, you call them bad dreams. I'm having bad dreams, Dada. It's like 6 years old, right? And he's like, what is this wolf man doing? He's like, I'm sitting there going like, I know what it's doing to me. What has it done to you? And he's like, we called her Ellie girl. He's like, Ellie girl, can you tell me what was happening here? She says, Dad, I don't want to talk about it. She's like, maybe we'll have a meeting after school. He says, you know what? It's a deal. I'll be home 5 o'clock. I said, okay, 5 o'clock. Son comes out and he looks tired and whatever. He's 8 years old. He's grouchy. He's like, he's always in a bad mood. He's like his mama. He's like, you okay, son? He's like, not really. Keeps his head down. They go and they get on the bus and he's like, he goes back inside, talks to his wife. His wife's sleeping. She's a lazy bum. He's like, go get up. Why are you always laying down? Make me a bologna sandwich. Never mind, I'll be back. What?
Yeah.
You're always on the floor. Why are you sleeping? While you sleep, you're always sleeping. You are never awake for me to make a bologna sandwich. So he says his wife, he goes and wakes her up. He's like, hey, Carol. She's like, He's like, wake up. She rolls her, what? She's like one of those that like acts like she's half asleep, and then when you snap, and she goes, what? Immediately she's wide awake. He said, does your wife do that? I said, my wife does nothing wrong ever. Nothing. I want nothing. Ever. My wife, nothing. We don't. There's nothing. She's never done anything bad ever. Will never do anything bad. As she's walking up the stairs, I'm like, I was like, what are you doing? You're going to get me killed. She's coming back down. Mayday, mayday. Abort this conversation. Let's get out of here. And I told him, I said, look, everybody's wife gets a little grouchy, except for mine. I don't know about y'all. Y'all didn't marry one of those perfect women. I did.
Sucks to be you, man.
Sucks to be you.
I wouldn't know what that's like.
I don't know what that's. I don't have those kind of problems. I stay in my lane. My wife says, "Can you look at what this happened?" I said, "That happened, burned. That thing should be anything, whatever you do." Then you walk off. Don't get involved. Whatever it is between her and that blanket is between her and that blanket.
Don't
You need to
engage.
move your ass out of there. Don't engage, Tony. Right? Don't engage.
Don't engage.
That thing is whatever you say it is. It's all the good or bad things that you say. Whatever reality is. Yeah, exactly. Period. Yeah, yes. Or no. Okay, no. That's totally what I meant. I meant
Whoop its ass.
no.
See no evil, hear no evil. Say
You're in
no
the background. Whoop its ass, Seabass. You got to get it. I told him, I said, I just don't get involved. I said, I don't engage. When somebody is whatever, that's what happens. So he said, you know how it goes with women. She's real grouchy, right? I said, I've heard of this. I've heard in other lands.
I have heard tales. of
Women?
such things.
I've heard tales of in other faraway lands.
Faraway lands.
And where you're from, in the land of Missouri, that some women can be quite sassy. Here now in Texas, now we have perfect women.
We don't have such problems.
Oh, I've heard of this land. The elves are tall and the dwarves are short there.
As soon as they come from hitherland, they come here, they change, they become perfect. But proceed, my good friend. And he says, "This is what happened." I wake her up, she's all grouchy, angry. What? And he's like, "Okay, I've been having nightmares." She goes, "Really, you too?" He's like, "Thank goodness, she's been having them too." That sounds so horrible, but that's what he said. And he goes, "Because I don't want to feel like I'm crazy." He goes, "And now the kids are having these." He says, "Dustin and Elle are having nightmares too." And she's like, "What?" And she's like, "What? You're kidding me." Just second day. She goes, "Well, when we get that film today, guess what? It's going to be on and popping." I don't know if she said that, but she said, it's going to be, we're going to prove to everybody. She was already talking about calling the paper. He's like, "Don't do that. You don't know what's going to happen." He knew something was wrong. That afternoon, he gets off early. He's like, "Ha ha! Got off early. I'm bringing a box of chicken home. Winter chicken dinner. The kids are going to be happy. My wife's going to be happy. We're going to get this film." Oh, shit, I forgot about the film. He gets home. She's like, "Justin, we got to go." He's like, "I guess we got to go pick up we got to pick up the film. Yes, we got to go. Let's go. It's ready. It's ready." What? I brought chicken, and she's like, go put it on the table. We'll be back. It's just 5 minutes up the road. Let's go. I told you to grab the film. He's like, I purposely put it out of my freaking head. He goes, "We get there." No. He goes, "I do not go inside." She goes inside. She grabs the film. She comes back out, and she's like, "Justin, look at this." And he's like, he grabs it and he looks at it and he's like, "Yeah." She's like, "It didn't come out. There's like this big sun circle in all of the those several pictures. There's only one where you can see a little bit of a snout. That's it." Knowing what we know now, and Justin had no clue what the hell that was. He goes, "I don't know what that is, honey. I can't tell you, but I knew something was going to happen." She says, "Why?" I'll tell you why in a minute. But he says, "Look," he tells me, he goes, "I know now that is some kind of an orb or something. Because if you watched the show last night, Dawson's dad talked about seeing these things. And there was a guy that worked with his dad who was a welder, right? And that guy, Dawson's dad, saw this creature. And he was talking about, I wouldn't go down to that damn river. There's a freaking King Kong. And there's a freaking King Kong in that river, or the Merrimack. Peckerhead in there, he'll kill you. You go out there with your peckerhead self. Yeah. So his mom and dad had seen this thing. So Dawson, I don't know if y'all watched the show last night, but Dawson said, hey, there was something out there. Having talked to his dad's friend who's talked about orbs, these creatures, they surrounded him. He ended up in a cave. Like, dude, and we're going to tell that story one day. Maybe we'll tell that one on Sunday. Or is this Thursday's a live stream tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow's a live.
Yeah.
So I can't do it tomorrow, but we'll do it, whatever. But he's his dad's friend. Dawson is his friend he grew up with, right? And then it was his brother Stan. But this is crazy. Like, Dawson had his own whatever stuff that happened. This is weird though. He says, dude, I didn't know anything about orbs. Now I know. And now what I remember it looked like, it was like an orb was shining in front. It was like it was blocking this. So that thing was there. It was something. And I told him, I said, what if that was its spirit coming out of that body? He said, I don't know, maybe. He goes, it could have been anything. I don't, hell the hell if I know. So what ended up happening, this creature that he took these pictures of, he said this thing, the next day after we got the film, my wife takes it and puts it in a drawer. She's mad. She's got to cancel all her big party plans, whatever. And he's like, I'm sitting there going like, I told you so. So then they get into an argument. She's like, you wanted this to happen. And Justin's like, what? She's like, you did. You wanted this to happen. She goes, this could have been the biggest discovery ever. Like, we took pictures of this thing. And he goes, and I don't know why or how or whatever I thought to do this. He goes, but I blurted it out. It came out of my mouth. He said, you think we're the first people to take pictures of this thing or the last people? He said, these things aren't going to let you take pictures. And she goes, how do you know that? And he says, I don't. But from what I'm seeing in these dreams, this thing is pissed. He said, Carol, we got bigger problems than these pictures not turning out. This thing is coming to our house. He's like, have you seen how the pets have been? Have our bird? They had a bird, right? Because we had a bird, we had 2 cats and a dog. And the dog, they named it Scooby. He's like, have you seen how Scooby's been acting? He's been acting weird as hell. He's scared of it. He's screeching, scared or whatever. He's like, dude, he won't go outside. He goes, we had 2 outside dogs and an inside dog. Scooby was an inside dog. He would run in and out. He was not supposed to be an outside dog. He eventually disappears. His dog. He's like, I had this dog from when it was a puppy who had 2 big Pyrenees that were outside. I watched the chicken. We had chickens because we didn't have anything else. We had some chickens. He said the dog was just disappeared. Scooby was under the house, under the front porch one day. He's like, and I'm like, why is my dog outside? Little Cocker Spaniel mix. Because I go in there, I pull him out, and he's peeing on himself, peeing everywhere. This dog was terrified. And then he goes in the Pyrenees, those 2 dogs, they were hiding in the backyard, going into the doghouse, stuffing themselves in the doghouse together, scared to death. Something was going on. Something was knocking on their windows in broad daylight. Something was making screeching, howling noises. He's like, what is this? This is not normal, Carol. Have you not noticed that? She's like, yes, I have. He's like, you had to take those damn pictures. He goes, I told you not to. And she's like, you wanted this to happen. You wanted me to fail. He's like, I didn't want you to fail, honey. That was never in the cards. He's like, all I wanted was for us to be safe. This thing made us not safe now. She's like, well, all we have are people having a few dreams. You and I and our children having some bad dreams. Right? He says, that's what you want to call it. That's what you think this is. That's what it is. Until it's not. So over the coming weeks, actually months, this thing got worse, whatever this was. It got much worse. And I'm going to tell you something. If you listen to yesterday's show, his brother Stan, his best friend Dawson, they went over to his house and had birthday parties for the kids. And they brought their, children who were a little older, but they brought them. And then Dawson's first cousin, was good friends with Justin. He brought his children about the same age. Justin's good friends with this guy. He's a little bit younger than them. So he had children about the same age because Justin had children, later in life. But the children were playing together, and one of them, which was Dawson's cousin, his child, I don't know his name, but the child, they came running back inside behind the hen house. And all this kid was saying was like, the hen house, and here comes Ellie. She comes running up. She's like, the wolf man is behind the hen house. Very calm. He's like, that was more scary than anything, that my children had gotten acclimated to this thing. It's like 8 months in of the nightmares and all the weird crap and weird voices. They heard a voice that would whisper in the hallway. Weird. They couldn't understand what the hell it was saying. Justin's brother Stan, he got into an argument with his wife. He came over there and was like, "Hey," talks real gruff. He's like, "Can I stay on the couch? I'm gonna sleep on the couch tonight. You know, and I'm not gonna deal with this shit. I'm in the doghouse over here. Okay, yeah, whatever, brother. Yeah." He sleeps. He hears whispering in the hallway. It Stan's one of those kind of whatever military guy. Real he's a sergeant. And he's like, "Would y'all shut up?" He said, "My brother's not even awake." He does this thing where he's like half asleep and he's sleep talking. And he's like, chop firewood, that kind of guy, And he's like, "Hey, shut up." And my wife goes out there and she's like, hands on her hips, Stan. He wakes up. What? He's like, "If you're going to stay in our house, you don't be out here cussing and telling people to shut up. He goes, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "You were over here talking, telling us to be quiet, shut up, whatever." Next morning, they're at breakfast, right? And he says, "It was weird you woke me up." He goes, I couldn't go back to sleep after that. You woke me up. He goes, "But I kept hearing y'all arguing in the hallway. I kept hearing, talking, whatever. Couldn't make out what y'all were saying, but it was y'all. Y'all were just arguing. But it sounded like y'all were speaking another language or something." And she's sitting there and she's like, looks at Justin. Justin's like, "I'm just eating bacon. I don't know what's going on." Whatever.
I'm just a fly on the wall.
He just looks down at his eggs, like, whatever. He's just like, "Well, Stanley, you got pretty mad last night, And he goes, "Well, yeah, because y'all kept talking." He's like, "We weren't talking, Stan. You don't understand." He's like, "Understand what? This house is haunted now?" He's like, "Since when?" He goes, "Since months ago." He's like, "Do you remember when she called your wife and told you?" He's like, "Yeah. Oh, yeah. I took pictures of some kind of werewolf." Laughs about it, He's not laughing now, I promise you. So anyways, he says, I don't know what the hell this. Y'all arguing. I know y'all argue all the time and whatever. And she goes, "No, we don't. That's you and your wife." It's like very adamant, Stan's like, yeah, we do argue a lot. He's like, "Yeah, but you know what? I know what I heard." "Well, see ya." He leaves. She goes to work. He goes to work. Kids are at school. Neighbors, they have neighbors that live about couple blocks. They live out in the country, but it's a couple of what would be city blocks, not too far. You could see their house. Because I asked him, I said, how far away you think it was? They don't live in the house anymore. He says, "I don't know, maybe a couple city blocks. You could see it." And he said, "We had 4 acres. They had like 3. It was all spread out like that. We're out in the middle of nowhere, a lot of woods." And he says, the neighbors comes by that afternoon. He goes, "I know this guy, Chuck. I've known him forever." Chuck said, he says, "Man, I saw this weird thing." And this goes back to the children. Remember when they said the hen house and they were trying to, the little girl comes right up, very matter of fact, says, "Hey, the Wolfman is behind the hen house." What? So Justice's cousin's like, "What?" And Dawson's there, and they're all, having a couple beers. These are blue-collar working people, I don't know. They all just kind of go back there. The kids are all scared. No, there's something back there. Scared to death what they saw. So they asked the kids to draw it. One of the moms. She's like, she's one of those moms that'll traumatize their kids. She don't care. "What did the devil look like? Tell us what the devil." Draw a picture of it. I'll put it on the fridge. You can look at it every day.
Yeah. I'm gonna tape it up above your bed.
Don't take it down. The devil. That you want to talk about the devil? There it is. You drew it. You did that.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. How many times have I told you that, boy?
Quit talking about the devil. You won't be. He's over there on the phone dealing with what he's doing. Talking about bombing Iran or whatever the devil's up to. And he's like, "Hold on, what? They're talking about me? Oh, hold up." And then the devil goes. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you know that? And now you got the devil above your bed. How do you like that?
Hope you're happy with
And
yourself.
then he's mad at you because he has to take time away from his APAC meeting to deal with your crap, kid, because you keep talking about him, and he has to follow the rules. Every time you talk about him, he's got to appear. He's got meetings with Netanyahu and all these APAC people.
Antifa,
Yes, yeah, and meetings with Antifa,
Black Lives Matter.
the Communist Party of China. He's got things that he's got to do. Okay,
He's a busy man.
He's a busy guy. Venezuela,
and he's got
Scheinbaum.
and he's got to meet with a bunch of Democrats. All this stuff. It's a busy man, walking to and from upon and
Yeah.
within the earth.
Yeah.
Doesn't have
Lindsey
time for you,
Graham.
kid, but you keep talking about him,
China.
pulling him away from his schedule.
Xiaoping.
Yeah.
He's got to meet with the people. He's got a lot of busy. He's a very busy thing. Got some busy things going on, right? He's meeting with people. He's over there at his table with Stalin and hanging out, and they're making plans. And he's like, "Hold on, Stalin, I got to go deal with this kid who's talking about me." And now that's why but don't complain, right? I told you about doing your homework. You do your homework, and the towers don't fall. That's what happened. One of those moms that blames every world event on your kids.
Yeah.
There's people like that. They'd be like, "What? Yeah, you know those planes? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You could have done your homework. You don't want to do your homework. You want to do what you want to do." And guess what? We don't have those towers no more. Way to go, little Johnny. I've seen moms like that, just horrible to their kids, and the kids over there crying like, why did they do this? Well, JFK will still be alive. I mean, he was a good guy. I don't know why you did what you did. It's like, I mean, it's good and bad.
He'd still be around if you did your science project.
You're not good. That's the problem. So the kids, like, she's like, "Oh, tell me, hey, why don't y'all draw the picture? Draw what y'all saw." These kids, the little kids are like 6, 7 years. This is a 7th birthday party, right? 7-year-old birthday party. Let's draw pictures of the devil, right? He's like, "She's a little bit odd. She's from the holler over there. Weird, down in that spooky holler where everybody's like, yeah, that's where the weird people are. They're a little more primitive than us, Missouri folks. So they're out there by the river, down by the river, So she tells them all. Her name's Dolores, by the way. I don't want Justice said, "Don't say the name." Let me say, nobody gonna know unless they do. Does she watch this show? I won't say her last name because you told me. But anyway, that's between us. So he says, this woman, she's over there like, "Y'all draw a picture. Show us what you drew." He said it was horrible. He said, "Mr. Wolf." They always call me Mr. Wolf. I said, "Call me Mr. Turner, please. We're friends." He says, "You would not believe." He said it looked demonic, evil. Red eyes, glowing eyes, real tall ears. Ears almost look like a bunny rabbit. When he said that to me, I was like, "What?" I'll allow it. Continue. He says, "Oh, it's weird." It was like, and one of them told him, he said it looked like like a cartoon. He said, what kind of cartoon? He said, it looked like the coyote. But ugly, mean. He was ugly. He was real mean. He had big, tall ears. Weird picture. Some of the pictures look like a rabbit, like with big ears, but more wolf-like. But the ears were triangular, but they were tall. So this thing kind of, when I showed him pictures of Anubis and Wile E. Coyote, I know it sounds weird, but I sent it to him. I said, "What do you think of that?" He said, "Kinda, but demonic." And this thing was big old shoulders, and it was stalking around behind there. This is a kid's birthday party. Hot as hell outside, humid as shit, 100% humidity. It was out there, I'm sweating my balls off. And these kids are scared. They won't even jump on the damn trampoline. Got to slip and slide. They're slipping, sliding, but scared to go back out. They want to be inside, wet now, inside, running around, scared. Now we're going to draw pictures of the devil. This is him talking. This is a Missouri man pissed off. He's like, I'm over here I'm busting I'm working, and there's a bunch of damn kids, nobody's spanking anybody. They're just acting a fool. I'm over here like, get your kids under control. Please don't break that. Stop this. Don't do that. Blah, blah, blah. And now I got this damn werewolf thing running around. He goes, "It's running around my house." He's like, "I know y'all call it the Dogman or whatever." I said, "Excuse me, sir. Not me. I'm not the Dogman guy. We'll call it the Dogman for the sake of the audience. I don't call it that shit." I said, "I didn't see a Dogman, Justin." He says, "Oh, forgive me. I'm sorry." He's real polite, actually. He says, I'm sorry. I didn't mean, I said, no. I said, "That's okay. I didn't see a Dogman." He goes, "Well, what did you see?" I said, "I saw a freaking werewolf. What did you see?" Same. You know what's interesting about his encounter? What really stands out to me about his encounter is that he came upon something that was eating the eggs out of his chicken coop. This thing was cognizant enough, not animalistic, to eat the chickens. It was eating the eggs. He said, we thought our chickens had stopped laying eggs.
He's playing the long game.
He said, we had like 30 chickens up in there, and there were no eggs for like 2 weeks. My wife's like, you need to run a camera, you know. The whole time I'm thinking, surely this is not this creature. This is something that was like a spirit, right? It wasn't flesh and blood. He said, but now I'm confused because this thing was eating eggs. I come up on this thing and it turns and looks at me. He goes, and its eyes were big, like big old freaking big eyes. And I asked him this question. I said, what, like quarters, silver dollars? What? He said, yeah, $50, big eyes. And it looked at me. He's like, and I couldn't believe it. I was staring right at this thing. He goes, and I'm trying hard to lift up this 12 gauge and I want to shoot it, but it looks like a man. And part of it was like, I looked at this thing and I said, this is a man, but it's not. He goes, and it had a humanness in its eyes and it was just like eating the eggs and it was walking. It was like turned to the right, turned to the left and was kind of swaying back and forth. He's like, and I almost felt hypnotized. Like it was trying to hypnotize me. And it was telling me, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm hungry. He goes, I put the gun down. I walked backwards. And I said, get out of here. And it looked at him, stuffed another egg in his mouth, eating them whole. Got down on all fours and ran, jumped over the fence and looked back, stood up, looked back at him and ran on all fours. He said it was the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my entire life. But they didn't realize what they had done with this. Because all of these encounters that happened after that with these other people that were at his house, he says, I feel responsible for this, man. I'm telling you, because he goes, none of us ever saw anything. And then after that shit, we all started seeing stuff. He's like, so my brother comes over. 2 months go by and there's really nothing. And I thought, well, I guess it's over. All of this wackiness that was going on around my house, I guess it's done. It's run its course, you know? He just says, maybe I'm just, you know, stressed out. Maybe it was a dream. He's like, no, I knew it wasn't. He goes, my brother comes over and we're in the backyard. And he goes, you know, those paddles with the ball? He sits there and he goes, my brother, he's got this habit. He said, when we were kids, my dad took us to Mexico. My dad used to work on the border near Texas, down the border. He worked years ago. He said, you got to run? All right, man. Say goodbye to Tony, everybody.
Nice being here, everyone. Back from vacation, but I wouldn't be anywhere else with here.
Yeah, as he leaves y'all, as he abandons y'all again.
It's not my choice.
He comes back from vacation only to say hi, bye again.
I got things I got to do.
Remember that.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I don't really care. So, anyways, y'all be safe. Cool shirt, by the way. El Squatcho.
I think you got me another one, right?
What is it?
It's a dragon. It's a big old dragon. I just opened it right before I left.
Oh, it was probably for your birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, because a bunch of stuff came in late. So anyway, so what happened was, he said, this thing, whatever it was, he said it was gone. It was 2 months and nothing. He said, after this incident happened, he goes, I didn't see it again. I didn't hear it. I didn't have a nightmare. He said 2 solid months, over 2 months. Then I thought, here I am. I'm in the clear. We're going to go back into some of his weird stuff that happened. And he says, I'm sitting there on the back deck with my brother, the deck that me and him built together. He said, and my brother's back there with his little paddle ball, and he's just hitting it. And he said, it's weird how when we were kids, we went to Mexico. My dad used to work in Texas years ago. He's old, retired, at this point, whatever. And he goes, before my dad passed away. And he goes, I never thought that I would run into something like this. I never in a million years dreamed that this would be real. And he said, my brother, we had those little cup with the balls.
Mhm.
He goes, he would just sit there incessantly playing with that and never ever making it in the. He goes, I'd take it and do it one time. My brother would be like, oh, you think you're tough? And they want to beat me up. Yeah, how brothers are. And so he says, I'm over there and he's just sitting there hitting the paddle ball, but he keeps missing. He keeps missing. He keeps playing around with it. And I finally took it and I said, I threw it down. He goes, oh, you think you're cute, huh? So he grabs it and he starts doing it in my face. He goes, and then we hear it. He said, right down there behind the chicken coop, we hear like an echo, cute. And then he hears like the sound of it. And him and his brother are just sitting there like, what the heck? And his brother's holding it like, they're looking at each other. He's like, we jumped up. We always had our weapons like right there. Like after what happened, we were just like, this is weird stuff going on here, He goes, we grabbed our guns. We run down there by the chicken coop. Nothing there. Nothing. He's like, but there was the biggest chicken snake I'd ever seen. It was slithering away. He's like, and my brother blasted it. He's like, and then that night, he goes, I had a dream. And in this dream, he goes, I wake up. I'm in the dream. I wake up in the dream. He goes, this was happening quite a bit, where I'd wake up and I felt like I didn't know if I was in a dream, if I was asleep, what the hell was going on. I wake up and there is this snake. And it's like throwing up eggs under my bed. And I'm like, oh, what the hell? And he goes, and I go to smack it. And the snake stands up and bites my hand. He goes, and I'm looking at this snake. He goes, and then I look at the snake and it's a hand. And it's this hairy hand with black claws. He goes, and I look up and I see this creature and it's standing there. It's the thing I saw that day. And it was there. It was standing right there in front of me. He goes, about 6.5 feet tall, massive, big upper body. And he said, I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, what in the hell? What is this? He's like, I had that same weird, what in the hell feeling. Like, what am I looking at? What is this thing? And he's like, and I'm staring at it and this thing is looking at me. He goes, and it spoke. In the dream, it spoke with its mouth, like it spoke. And it's like, ask me the question. It says, you trespass. Yes. Tells him just like that, like a person would say something and then confirming it with a yes. And he says, no. And it says, you lie. Yes, you lie. Yes, you trespass. Yes, you trespass. Yes. And he says, it kept on. It wouldn't let go of my hand. It was crushing my hand. My hand was in pain. He goes, and my body was paralyzed. I couldn't move. And it was like venom, like snake venom. You know how they say you get paralyzed, things like that from different types of poison. He said it was like it was like something was going through my veins. I could see it through my skin and it was going up in my neck and my body was freezing. And I was like, yes, okay, yes, I trespassed, yes. And he says, and her, her trespass. And he says, yes, we did. Yes, I'm sorry. He says, you're sorry. You sorry. She sorry? You sorry. He says, I'm sorry. She's sorry. And he goes, no, sorry. You sorry. He's like, this thing did not blink. It was just staring a hole through my soul. He's like, and I pulled my hand away and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Forgive me. Please leave us alone. He says, no, leave alone. No, leave alone. You sorry. She no sorry. I make sorry. And he backs up and it was like black. It smelled like sulfur. Rot, like some kind of rot. And he says, I wake up immediately. I jump up out of the bed and I am freaking out. And I am like, it's the middle of the night. And I look around and it's not. I looked at the clock and I said, oh, 9:03. I'm late. I should have been at work like an hour ago. Like, dude, I'm screwed. I'm like, dude, what the hell? He's like, I turn around and I grab Carol's foot and I'm like, Carol, wake up. She won't wake up. And I'm like, dude, I am freaking the hell out. I'm like, you got to get up. You got to go to work. She won't wake up. She will not wake up. And then I go around the other side of the bed and I look and she's cold. She's not responding. And I look in her eyes, she's gone. There's nothing. She's gone. And I'm sitting there looking at my wife, and I'm like, oh my God, what the hell is going on here? Then she opens her eyes, and they're just black pits. And she just sits up and opens her mouth. He goes, and her tongue just starts coming out, getting longer and longer. He goes, and I'm like, what in the hell? And then I wake up, and she shakes me awake, and I wake up. He goes, I was woken up twice in that one dream. It was unreal, dude, but it was real. And he goes, and she woke me up. She goes, get up. He's like, I look out. It's still dark. He's like, I'm not late for work. My wife is not a zombie. He looks, he's like, Carol, I love you. She's like, I love you too. What's going on? And he's like, she's like, you're not going to listen to me. You're not going to believe me. He goes, I just got visited by the, whatever that was that we saw that day in the woods. You should never take a picture. She's like, oh, here we go. She's like, I love you. And you're going to tell me this. You're going to get on to me about taking the pictures. You win, Justin. You win. He's like, I don't want to win. There's something here. Then that afternoon, his kids come home from school. So many different stories happened with this leading up to this point. Right? There were so many. I didn't know which ones to choose. We'll get into those one day. Not right now. We got other things to do. But then his kids come home from school, and they're just like, Dada, we have to talk to you. His son, he's like, got to talk to you. They're very businesslike, we got to sit at the table, have a meeting, And Dustin tells me, he says, Dad, I saw this thing in the hallway last night. And I thought it had, Mel in his mouth. He's like, what? Yeah, it was pulling her out of the room by her arm. She was screaming, and I came out of the room and I saw it. And it dropped her and it told me to go back to bed. It spoke to me. I said, he said, it spoke to you? Yes. She had the same dream. She had a dream that something grabbed her by her arm and pulled her out of her room. He's like, and then I woke up and I was getting ready for school. Mama woke me up. Same thing happened to his sister. All three of these people were dreaming about this thing at the same time, except for the mother. And I'll get into that. She only had like two weird little, and I'd say not little. It wasn't little. Nothing's little. I'd say one really bad thing that happened to her. She didn't really see it. It looked more like a shadow. But then she had another encounter that was like more sound based. Other than that, she only had a couple weird dreams. And she just said, oh, they were just dreams. They were just dreams. Except they weren't. So what happened? She was asleep in the afternoon. About a week later, she got really sick. The whole house was sick. But she was down and out in Beverly Hills. She could not get out of bed. She goes, I was just destroyed. She's like, my sister and her kids had been over, and their kids, they were all sick. And I babysat them. She's like, and then I got sick. So I got a real heavy dose of it. Then my kids got sick. They weren't as bad. Justin was sick, but not as bad. So what happens? She ends up just laid out. Carol can't even get out of bed. She's like, I can't get out of bed. I'm done. I'm cooked. She's like, so I'm just laying there. It's in the afternoon. It's about 1 o'clock. I get up and I'm out of water. I'm just like, my mouth is like a desert. I got to go get some, She was walking to the kitchen and she hears something run across the floor, like nails. And their dog had disappeared. There was no dog inside. And she's like, what the hell was that? It sounded like something moving around the island, the kitchen island. And she was like, it's on this hardwood floor. And I'm going like, what the heck? She's backing up and she's like, what is this? She asked this creature, this entity. She says, who are you? And then she gets this image in her head. And Justin had not told her what this thing had said. So this is crazy. And it says that you trespass. The same thing, the accusation. She backs up and she's like, she sees the image of a werewolf-looking creature in her head, like the one that was laying down. But that one, she said, it looked almost like it was peaceful. She said, this thing was the same thing, but demonic. And I said, that's because they are. That's what they are. She's like, how could it be a physical thing but not be? And I told her flat out, I was like, because they are angelic and human. The product, possibly, of genetic alteration may be modern or ancient, from ancient aliens, or the gods, little g, whatever you want to call them, the Anunnaki. She knew what that was, and I told her. I said, or the fallen, whatever you want to call them, the watchers. Who knows what they were, what they are, how many civilizations, layer upon layer upon layer, have come and gone. We don't know, but we know that they exist because you took a picture of it and it didn't come out. She goes, yeah. I said, okay, so what do you think this is? This thing's talking to you. It's talking to you, and it's telling you you trespassed. You took something that you shouldn't have taken, which was a picture, right? And you were right there in its little territory that it had, and it was probably like, now it's angry. You gave it permission by taking something with you. She's like, I didn't take anything. I said, you went and you told everybody about this thing, right? That's what your husband said. She said, yeah. I said, yeah. And I said, I bet you this. I bet you a steak dinner, you had a welcome mat at your front door. She said, yeah, I probably did. I probably still have one. I said, well, you should probably get rid of that. Because when you encounter one of these things, whether it's a Bigfoot, like they encountered later, or this thing here, or the howler, or whatever, it could have been that too. There's these different things that happen, and then they come back with you. And then when you don't rebuke it in the name of Christ, tie, bind, and rebuke this sucker and pack it, send it packing, toot sweet, sister. That's what you got to do. I said, did you do that? She goes, no. Kind of sheepishly. Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't do that. And Justin was back there. I told you. I said, yeah. But Justin tried, right? But he didn't know how to do it. She's like, no. Here's how Justin did it. Justin got really mad one day, and he was like cocking his shotgun and walking around the house saying, F you, get out of here. I belong to Jesus. Yeah, probably not the best formula for saying that you tie, bind, and rebuke in the name of Jesus, you effer, probably is not, just, I cuss. I got a problem with it. Everybody knows on the show, I got a potty mouth. I've said bad things, maybe once or twice. Maybe not once or twice. Maybe once, maybe.
Once, many times.
Maybe.
It may or may not have.
This may or may not have happened. But you know me, I say things. And I told him, I said, dude, you guys are like me. You guys say things, right? And she's like, you always cousin Justin. That's why it didn't work. They tried. She wants to be right, right? I said, let me tell you something, Carol. You want to be right. I'm not judging y'all. I'm not in between y'all's marriage. I'm gonna tell you right now, you both screwed up. And then he was like, we didn't know all these things. I said, you didn't know all these things? That's understandable. But it gave you a gift that kept on giving, because after that, you saw other things, didn't you? He said, yeah, hell yeah. I told him, I said, I bet these things, you were in your mid-30s when this happened, Justin, if you're listening. You in your mid-30s. I'll bet you were within 3 or 4 feet of these things many times. Dogman, howler, werewolf, Bigfoot, whatever you want to call it. Spirits, all of them. But the ability to become physical and go back and forth. I bet you were within feet of these things. And you didn't see them, and you didn't need to. And you probably weren't in really any real danger until you were. That's the key right there. And what I mean is, you're always in danger. But if you have God, Christ, the Holy Spirit, you say, I always went to church. I always praised God. I tithed. I did what I was supposed to do. I said, yeah, these creatures don't care about that. They don't care whether you gave 10% or not. What they care about is you using your legality. And what I mean by that is they're like lawyers. They have their own little, they know the rules. You trespass, yes. Then you should say, I'm sorry, I trespassed. You're trespassing now. You're in my house. Get out. I didn't give you permission to come here. I didn't bring you here. I would go and I would take the welcome mat and throw it out. And I would tell it, in the name of Christ, you have to leave. I don't want you here. I tie, bind, and rebuke you. In the name of Jesus, get out. You weren't invited here. You have no right to be here. You're not welcome here. Get out. Get away from my house, my family. I tie, bind, and rebuke you. I plead the blood of Jesus over everything in my house, all the people, everything I own, my vehicles, my land. Get away, get out, go away. That's what you got to do. People don't do that. They don't. They don't do that because they're either afraid or they don't believe it or whatever their reasoning is, you know. It's just like when they got they're like, well, you know, my job, you know, and my mom and dad, and I had, you know, there's always an excuse or some reason why I forgot, you know. I just you shouldn't forget that. That should be like putting on your socks and shoes before you leave the house, unless you're going to wear flip-flops. You're going to wear something on your feet, right? You're not just going to run barefooted like a freaking wild animal. Don't leave the house without saying your prayer. Don't let it happen to you. Don't get caught flat-footed by the big-footed. You need to understand this, folks. I'm telling you, this is a prime example right here. This thing kept on doing what it was, kept harassing and acting just unruly and threatening and scaring the crap out of them. And then one day their daughter tells them that this thing tried to take her out of her window. She was playing by the window. She got really sleepy and she had to just sleep right there by the window. Who does that? Why would a kid just go, I'm just tired, I'm going to sleep right here? She wakes up and something's pulling her halfway out the window. That's when it got really real. And finally, they confided in one of their neighbors who said, yeah, you know what? I thought I saw something. This is the neighbor that came over and said, I thought I saw something in your backyard. It looked weird. It was weird. It was like a deformed wolf-like thing. I don't know what it was. And it jumped the fence and was gone into the tall grass. I didn't see it, then went into the woods. It's confusing. You know, his neighbor Chuck was like, I was going to shoot him. I don't know what the hell it was. What is that? Your dogs were nowhere to be found. Because guess what? One day, one of the dogs disappeared. The next week, the other dog got hurt real bad, like it got attacked by something. And then went out in the front yard and passed away. Then they have no dogs. No dogs means no protection. There's a certain group of people that say we shouldn't have dogs.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have dogs because, you know, the prophet, whatever, says, you know, because of blah, 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 because he was talking to an evil spirit, a fallen angel, that some rabbis told to come and tell me this crap. And then, yeah, whatever. And then now we have another religion. Bam. You can't have dogs. Dogs will protect you. You know, you can imbue them with the power of God too. You can imbue your dogs, like make them strong, fortify them, pray over them. You know why? That's why Jesus says to tell the gospel to every living thing. Did you know why that is? Because sound vibration has power. And when you empower things with the gospel, living things with the gospel, even water. Water. That's why it's called holy water. Huh? Yeah. It's a life-giving substance. Look at the video I sent Abe Cius. Was it last night? Was it last night? I think it was last night.
I think so.
About the black goo. Do we have that video? Can we play it on here? Or would we get copyrighted or what would happen?
We might get copyright strike or
Yeah.
something. Flagged at least.
I posted a video on my Facebook. Go look at it. It's an Egyptian tomb. The tomb of Osiris, no less, is what they say. It was sent to me by Dick Richards. Thank you for that. Dick Richards says, no, you won't. Richard, you say anything. You get us copyrighted talking all the trash you do. That video has the black goo. They're like, there's a black substance, a black goo. He said, the guy says that, the archaeologist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I said to my friend Benji, I call him. I said, Ben, can you tell me what? He goes, that guy's an idiot. He goes, we've seen the black goo before, and the sarcophagus is down in Mexico. He's like, they're freaking vampires, and they're exploding. He said that, right?
Yeah.
He flat out told us. He said, this is all coming to a head, dude. Benjamin is correct. A lot of spooky, weird thing happening down here in Mexico. Right? So what's going on? Well, they're looking for Osiris's wiener. Can't even say it with a straight face. You know, it's the wiener for you. You should eat wieners. They're very unnutritious and not kosher. That's what we're supposed to eat. Is that garbage? You're supposed to eat those
Osiris Meyer wieners.
Osiris Meyer wiener. It's good enough for ISIS. You know, the woman that never attacked anybody but the Muslims and the Christians.
Yeah.
She couldn't hit the target to save her life. I don't know what was going on. They're like, it's right there. Yeah, I can't. I hit another Muslim. Oh, let me see if I can try again. Hold on. Oh, I hit a Christian. Oh, you know what? Blind. The first terrorist organization in history to never attack that country. It was unbelievable. Can you believe that, folks? And it was the worst one. It was almost like it was created to do that. I was sitting there like the whole time laughing, like going like, do y'all not see this? The first terrorist organization to go out and actually attack Christians in Europe and Hamas and Hezbollah all together in the same month. It was amazing. It was amazing. You're going like, wow, that terrorist organization is on fire. They're attacking everybody that you would kind of think would be there. Like, why would they do that?
They avoided the one target that all the other Muslim terrorist organizations
Target.
were targeted.
They wanted to be different. And then they had a white
Yes.
kid that was their spokesman. He's like, yeah, praise be to Allah. Yeah. Where's my $7,000 check?
Yeah.
I felt like I was taking crazy pills. I'm over here going like, oh, do you not see this? Plankton, I don't see it. I'm over there like SpongeBob. How can you not see it? Well, it's SpongeBob because I don't want to see his shit. I'm Lindsey Graham. I'm Ted Cruz. I'm Mike Huckabee. I'm full of shit. Anyways, I digress. You see what I'm saying, right? You get it. You get what I'm saying, right? So what ends up happening? This creature, these things, they do what they do. They whip your ass because you don't fight back, because you don't know how. So then you don't do what you need to do, which is tie, bind, and rebuke in the name of Christ. See, folks, all of these villains, human or otherwise, want to do one thing. You know what their main goal is? Everybody always thinks they're trying to drag us all to hell with them. They could give a crap if you go to hell or not. Most of them don't even realize that there is a hell. They know there's a hell realm, and they know there's the abyss. They haven't been anywhere near hell. Now, some of them are there, and they're trapped. But here's the thing. What they want is for you to not have a relationship with Christ. And you know what? I had an idiot one day. She was just like, she looks like one of those people that picks their nose in private and probably, chomps down on books. That's the kind of person she looks. I don't know if she was. She just looked like it. She looked like a dirty booger eating kind of person. She just looked like that kind of, you kind of get that feeling.
Yeah, you can spot them sometimes.
You can spot them. She's chomping on bugs. You're like, yeah. I saw a woman, me and Anthony, we saw a woman do it right there in her car one time, right there on Lamar on the bridge.
Yeah.
When he's coming across, Hank, I look over and he's just chomping on bugs. I couldn't believe it. Then she wiped one on the windshield. I couldn't believe it. It was so gross. I said, man, that is a special kind of woman. And she's pretty. She's very pretty, Hank. But damn. Just disgusting, gross. Couldn't believe it. I said, look. And we were cracking up. She looked over at us and then she just kind of put her head down like, the windows, ladies and guys, you nasty ass dudes. That's not a magic shield that stops people from seeing. You're not in the back of a limo. I got to say, some people, it's like they're in nobody can see you. It's like that movie with Anthony Hopkins and the guy that played it. Fun, Eddie, fun. Nobody can see you, Eddie. You can pick your nose and whatever. Nobody will see it. So, anyways, that's what this woman looked like. She was that kind of woman. And she tells me, she's like, well, why would demons care if you had a relationship with Jesus? Doesn't even make no sense. Doesn't make sense what you're saying. I was like, so they can possess you.
Mm-hmm. So they can turn you into a battery.
She's like, why would they want to possess a human? They have all these powers. I said, because you can do something that they can't. Like what? Have a body. You are a vessel. So they can eat, they can rest the way that they want to rest. They can, have sex and do all these other horrible things that they want to do because their idea of sex is not ours. Let me tell you something. They want to do these things in the corporeal body and commit certain acts of violence upon people. They crave it. They want it. And you're not believing in it. Yeah, well, you're susceptible. Well, I guess I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I guess you will.
That bridge will cross you.
Because eventually we all have to cross that Rubicon, making a choice. Do we go and we face the Senate of Rome like Caesar? Do we stay prayed up and do what we got to do and march forward? Or do we live in fear or die in ignorance? Because Caesar could have stayed away from Rome and then the rest of his life, he could have just died in ignorance and not knowing and never made an impact. It just faded away. Eventually, Rome sends some legions to face his men, battle-hardened as they were. They probably would have repelled them. But eventually, you just die among savages, barbarians. That's no way to live. So he goes back and he makes a difference, and then he dies. But in the meantime, he did make a hell of a difference, didn't he? He improved the lives of 1 million people. And he paved the way for the Pax Romana, which was 40 years of peace, the only peace that Rome ever really saw. And it's impossible without him. The warmongering Senate they were never going to change. They were the nobility. They were special. You are the proletariat. Stay in your place. Yeah. And these demons, at one time, these archons, they ruled this earth. And they don't anymore. And they want it back. And they think that it's their birthright. And if they have to use the hubris of man, if they have to use their sycophants, who give them power by worship, and then come to them for power, because they have a special thing I call the retardation. And they don't live in our world. You know what they live in? The land of make-believe. Why would Jesus why would the demons care if Jesus had you? Because that's you live in the land of make-believe. Oh, look, Charlie, look, the land of make-believe, Charlie. Come on, let's go play. We're unicorns, right? So what happens? Then you're out there playing in the highway with your unicorn friends, and guess what? The Mack truck runs you over. It's fun while it lasted, I guess. But I got to say this. This is a case in point. This is what always happens. These are demons, folks. I don't care what anybody says. I don't give a shit what they say, snicker and laugh, whatever they want to say. Wolf's over there off his rocker. He's saying all these things are demons. I've been out here picking up Bigfoot scat for years and sniffing it and whatever. Well, good for you. Tell me what you found. Has the Bigfoot scat proved anything? Huh? No, it hasn't. It proves they can take a shit. If that's even what that is. You know how they go out there and they check with their little, when you go to the ice cream place and they give you a little scoop, a little thing.
Yeah.
You want to take a taste of sample? You're like, strawberry mint parfait, whatever. Oh, that's good. You know what? I might try. Let me try 15 others. That's me. Like, let me try the chocolate fudge marshmallow surprise and whatever. You try 4 or 5 of them and you're like, I don't know. I think I'm full now. Thank you, though. I'm kidding. I don't do that. But the people, the little scoopy thing, right? They take it out there and they're like, look at this. I found some scat. We're looking for a physical creature that takes a shit. Come on now, boy. Come on, fellow rednecks. Let's get this shit. Let me see. Got a little bit of a nutty taste here. No.
Well, that's some premium poo-poo right there, brother.
That's definitely Bigfoot scat because, the nutty flavor tells me that's not from an elk. Elks don't eat nuts.
I've tasted a wide variety of poop out in the field. This don't taste like no natural creature.
Let me go fetch my machete. I'll come back spinning them suckers, cut my damn arms off. And you know what? I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill that sucker, some bitch. I'm going to kill it. because it is a physical creature who walks up on the earth with 2 legs. What about when they get down and crawl like a spider? Those sightings have never been confirmed. We have the confirmed sightings where they're on 2 legs. We have them running on 2 legs and driving cars. They are physical. They are physical creatures. They can get on a computer and do your taxes because they have the intelligence of a human. Really? Because if they had the intelligence, if their intelligence worked like a human's, they would probably be able to do those things, and they don't. Because the truth be told, they have the savage nature of a fallen angel. They have the precarious slothfulness, maybe, of a human. The laziness, because they are pretty lazy too, if you think about it. But I don't think that they're, I don't think they're just taking random shits. This isn't India, right? They're just like, we're right here by the Ganges. This is a holy place. Let me. And the man with the hat will come with his scooper, and he will sniff and eat my poop and put my DNA right in him, like a Bond villain. That's what Easteen wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Put his right inside of you. You know, that's what Lady Gaga sings about. She's like, I want your revenge in me. She wants it. She wanted Easteen in her. The E should rah rah poo poo caca caca laka gaga Lady Gaga. That's what they do. That's what they do. They poop, and then you go and you sniff it, and you say, "Oh, look at this! This is a physical creature over here. It's made poop. He's eating the poo poo." I could tell you a million stories about how stupid these people are.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not here for that. What we're here for is to tell you right now that what these people went through was an absolute nightmare, and it didn't end just like that. There was more to it. A lot of things had to happen before they finally got themselves together and fought back. And we'll talk about that again on another episode. But you see what I'm getting at here, don't you? Cynicism and comedy aside, the truth, right? This is the truth, the real reality. Yeah. I'm dropping it like it's hot all the time. And my enemies are over there like, I gotta go buy some more views. I gotta buy some subs. I look like I'm doing some shit instead of just playing cards with my brother's kids. Because that's what y'all are doing. Buying shit. And I'm not even talking about the goofball. I'm talking these big, massive channels. And then when they have a live stream, they have 400 people. Like, you have 3 million people watching you, and you have less people in your chat than me?
Math ain't mathing. Some of that Common Core math.
Contraire, mon frere. I don't think that's I don't think that's real. You know what I think? I think you're as full of shit as the Bigfoot that you're stalking. That's what I think. There, I said it. All right? You're full of Bigfoot shit. Or ghost shit, or whatever it is that you're doing. Because you're not telling people the truth. You're not telling people the real reality. You're not telling them what they need to hear. You're telling them what you think will fix your freaking algorithms and make you whatever it is you're trying to do. I'm all for growing people's channels. I'm all for making money on it because you have to grow. You need money to make money. You have to produce, and money helps the show continue to grow and get bigger and reach an audience. Everybody does that. People say it like it's some kind of real revelation. Oh, they're trying to make money. Candace Owens is trying to make money. Tucker Carlson's just trying to make money. Everybody's trying to make. Who the hell isn't trying to make money, jackass? You slack-jawed idiot.
Why don't you just stop going to work if trying to make money is bad?
Yeah. Join the left and
Stop.
just be a communist and don't make money and hope that everything collapses and we all end up as, cattle that they're trying to do anyway, a welfare state. That's what these are. These low jacks, low IQ jackasses. There's so many low jacks in this freaking field. It is so ridiculous. Every grifter, every fraud, every felon, every possible whatever, They're over there basically peddling snake oil. We need to make a skit about it. Just with my coat. Come on, folks, step right up. I got the finest Bigfoot shit right here. It's an elixir. Put a little on your face, just like beef tallow. Got to do the voice. Come on now, folks. Me and Hank here, we're going to sell you some. Huh? I like that actor. I like the way he talks. We got the finest Bigfoot pee ever. We got cases of it. How much can I put you down for? $19.95. We got a special right now, 2 for $30. We got it out there right out of the Columbia River where all the Bigfoots are peeing. Because they're all flesh and blood. Well, I would buy some of this. Oh, it smells rancid. What is that? It smells like raccoon pee.
That's the purity you're smelling.
That is the absolute pure. Yeah, the purity of it is what it is. The thing is that it does have a little bit of a raccoonish smell, but that I promise you won't give you rabies. That was not from a rabid raccoon that me and my nephew caught. No.
We saw only the most potent Bigfoot elixirs.
The most finest. Well, I was watching a show the other day, and this man, Mr. Wolf or Turner, something like that, he was saying that these things are not flesh and blood. Oh, don't believe that, man. I'm so tired of him. Oh, what? He's just a demon monger. He wants everybody to believe these things are demons, evil, running around just trying to eat you and your children. I assure you, nobody's trying to eat you and your children. Mm-hmm. And they're like, really? Because the e-files was like, oh, those files again. Well, the Bible, who knows about all that hooey? Trust me, I got an honest face. I'm on TV. Look at me. The people wouldn't put me on TV if I wasn't honest.
Would I have all this money if I was lying? You can't make money lying. What?
They put people on TV. The people in charge of the TV, of the television and the media are our friends. Don't listen to that Tucker. He's rotten. He hates those people that run the TV and the media. I'm on TV. I'm smart. Maybe I'm the devil. And like, well, you know what? No, I'll pass. I have things to pay, bills, things like that. Well, suit yourself. This thing will heal you. Anything you got wrong, maybe bum knee, money trouble, whatever. It fixes it all. Just go into a trance and follow us. Out into the woods. We're going to give Bigfoot some donuts. Don't go down that rabbit hole with that Mr. Turner over there.
Don't listen to that city slicker. That city slicking Turner. They ought to call him Slicky Turner. That boy thinks he's slick. He's smarter. That boy thinks he's smarter than us simple country folk. I'm from the country just like you. If I'm not a honest country boy like yourself, then why would I have this ridiculous accent? You ask yourself that, young man, and ask yourself who is worthy of your trust. Gone.
Selling only the finest elixirs. Bigfoot, Littlefoot, medium foot, an extra large foot. And then we have Dogman. We have Dogman, Doggy Man, Dogman, Dogman, Dougie Dogman. We have all of them. We have them all right here. Just right behind the curtain over there.
And for you unsavory types, we have the Doggy Style Man down there in the back, just behind the curtain. We got everything for everybody here. Mr. Turner just gonna serve them Anunnaki worshiping heretics. Is that who you want? So you choose you this day, boy, who you gonna serve now?
Whenever you finally decide which side you're on, decide the path of good or deciding the path of evil, Mr. Turner representing the evil, of course, you just come on back. Oh, Captain Pappy, and I'll take care of you. Right? We're going to slay them Bigfoots and them Dogmans because they're flesh and blood running around, trust me. you can throw a spear at them, kill them dead. But you got to pour our elixir on the tip. That's the magic bullet right there. Not really magic, but like in the woo. But you know what I mean. Technically, it's science. That's what it is. That's why we're collecting all this poop out here. I can't imagine like being that ridiculous that you would go out and do that. And then put it on TV. They're on TV all the time. They run around, you know.
Or how about those really
Just
compelling,
investigating, looking concerned.
how about those really compelling footprint casts? Those prove a lot. Now,
they do.
you have to admit, they prove that this creature has feet, and those feet are very big. If only you could deduce that from the name of this creature.
Sasquatch?
No. Huh. What
Long arms.
What about the
Big
name
legs.
of this animal?
Big
would
nose.
tell you it's got feet and the feet are big. Huh.
Big podiatrist.
Doesn't make sense. You know what? My brain is just not. Our brains collectively are not smart enough
That's
to
right.
figure it out. We need fat hillbillies in the woods to tell us what these things are called. I'm sorry, it's just it's a necessity.
Them's
We
is
need
monsters.
Yes.
They're monsters, folks. Let's make shows about it. Let's run around and never find shit. That'd be a great waste of time, right? Meanwhile, people are actually having encounters with things that are coming to them in their dreams. They're messing with them. They're appearing in different places. They're scaring the hell out of their children. They're doing all kinds of shit. And what are these people doing? They're doing nothing. Kind of like the people about the E-Files. Yeah, I think they're kind of just waiting. That's what I think they're doing. They're staging. Yeah. That's what they're doing. They'll eventually get to them, right? They're going to take care of it. They're all going to be rounded up and put in, Gitmo. Right? They're on the case. In case you didn't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I guess this is the end of the show. But thank you for tuning in and thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We love you. And I'm going to tell you this. I really do. I love my audience. I love people. I'm not one of those people, I hate everybody. No, I hate certain groups. There's certain people I don't like. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I'm going to tell you this, folks. Join the Patreon. Tomorrow we have the members only show. Join the members only. That's your name in green here. We got people here. Dawn.
Yeah, I was gonna say I checked last Thursday, so tomorrow should be a pre-record, not a live stream.
That's what we said.
Members only. No, earlier we said it the other way around.
No, you said it was going to be a record.
I could have sworn dollars to donuts,
Well,
whatever that even means.
Dollars to donuts. We'll go back and check, and I'll prove you wrong.
Well, if it's that way, then it's Mandela effect.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, okay, fine, whatever. You know me, I'm always wrong. Well, Uncle Captain Pepe is always wrong. And no, that can't be. My elixirs say otherwise. But yeah, we have a good time here. So let's do this for the people that are still here in the chat. Let's give away something. What do you guys want? How about this? It's starting to get warmer now. I'll give you the option. You want a hoodie or a shirt? It's up to you. If you want the hoodie, that's fine. But if you want a shirt, win a shirt, whatever. But I'm going to give you the option. So tell me if you haven't won. Let's get it going here. Who hasn't won? Membership ran out because you have to renew it every month, Paranormal Oz.
Yeah, if you get gifted a membership, then it doesn't automatically renew. If you want it to renew automatically, you have to buy it yourself, which if you're on Android, it should be simple. If you're watching on your phone, if you're not a member, right next to the subscribe button, there's going to be a button that says join. That's how you become a member. You click that button and just follow the prompts. If you're on iPhone, it's probably not going to be there if you're watching us on the YouTube app on your iPhone. So on your iPhone, what you do is instead of using the YouTube app, you use your web browser. You go to youtube.com, you sign in there, and then once you watch us from your web browser on youtube.com, then you can that button should pop up from there. Because Apple, they don't want you subscribing to certain services
and Apple
through their apps. Yeah,
$15.
Yeah, Yeah, so if
for
you
Patreon.
if you try to subscribe to our Patreon from the app and you're on iPhone, they're gonna try and charge you like $16 a month to become a member of our $10 tier. So we don't charge $16 a month to become a $10 a month Patreon member. That is extra that Apple is charging you for using iPhones. So if you want to sign up for the Patreon or become a member and you're on iPhone, please do so from your web browser, not from the Patreon app and not from the YouTube app, because Apple wants it's basically they're punishing you for subscribing to services through those services apps. They're charging you more so they can take their cut. So they're ripping you off. Highly recommend against using an Apple device, but it's your money. You do what you want with it. As long as some of it as long as some of that money comes to us. We need some of your we need your hard-earned money here. Don't ask no question, just give your money.
And we do thank everybody who's donated tonight. We appreciate that. We need the help financially.
Yeah.
Because we are not doing good and our business sucks. You know, it's just the slow season came and it never left. And we, usually by this time it's picking up and it's just not because the economy's not great right now. There's a lot of people that are cutting everywhere. They're cutting everywhere. They don't have the money. So that's what's going on. And so the show is doing good, but we take off to do the show. And now I have to make a decision soon. Do I do less shows and do more work, from my business, or do I do more of the shows and just say to hell with it and push forward? But I can't do it without you. I can't do it without your help. So if you like the show and you're entertained and you want to keep it going, then do what you can. If you can't, you can't. But being a member is a big help, and being a part of the Patreon is a big help. Those are good ways to help support the show. And I appreciate everybody who's donated and helped. So we had somebody who said there, Paulette, I'm going to let you win. How about that, Paulette? You win, and Anthony, you pick somebody, and then we got to get out of here.
Okay, let's see. Let me see who else said they haven't won.
Yeah, Tiger, it would be it is hard to believe in the Austin area, and we're struggling right now to get accounts. It's just bad. It's
Tommy Young's they said they haven't won. So I'm going to pick them. Is it Tommy or Tony? Is it Tomi or Tonni? Tommy, yeah. Tommy Young's is who I'm picking for the giveaway. Can we get the banner up for the?
Yep, there it is.
Yeah. So if you were picked as a winner for tonight's giveaway, just please follow the instructions that are scrolling at the bottom of the screen. All you have to do is just send an email to giveaways@protpodcast.com with your name, your shipping address, and your shirt size. Just say, hey, my name is so and so. I won the giveaway. Here's my shirt size. Here's my mailing address.
Who is it that won?
Tommy Young's.
Tommy Young's?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So tomorrow night is a pre-record. What is it going to be? Do we have any idea? Do you know what we're dropping? Because I don't know. We've recorded so much.
I can open up what we had the folder and see what we have in the chamber.
Yeah, and we'll let the people here decide what they want to. Maybe you guys like that. Y'all can decide. Y'all can kind of take a little vote there with your thumbs. Decide what you want to watch tomorrow.
Let me see what we have here. Open these folders up. So starting from here, I think
we already did Vampires of Mexico.
Yeah. I lost my place. Oh yeah, I'll get from here. Okay, so we have one. We have a Bigfoot.
Oh, that Dire of the Future is a crazy one.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that one. So,
We should probably drop that one on a maybe on a Saturday show, or not. Yeah, maybe like after we do the True Crime Paranormal
Mhm.
one
Yeah.
night.
Okay, so we have one Diary of the Future. We have a podcast episode we did that took place in the Philippines with this creature called the Manananggal.
The Menanangal, yeah.
Yeah, we have the Leopard Man of Botswana. We have an out of body experience
Oh, yeah,
recording that we
was a good
did.
one.
A Black Eyed Kids
Black Eyed
episode.
Kids.
We did this one. We had an episode of some things that happened to these people who were into these grimoires and were messing around with them, and the phenomena that followed that.
Dogman in Yemen.
Yep, Dogman in Yemen. Have
Let's do
a
that one. Let's drop that one tomorrow.
Dogman in Yemen.
Let's drop a Dogman one.
Okay.
Dogman in Yemen.
Dogman.
That one I had to talk kind of I had to cram it all into an hour. So
Yeah.
I talked kind of fast on that one. Sorry about that. And I didn't get to make the connection between that and the Ifrit of the Hermitite Kingdom. But there is a connection there. But I will eventually get into that at some point and explain the history of that, and who the Ifrit were and what these evil things were. They were like jinn that looked like werewolves. But yeah, Dogman and Yemen, we'll do that one tomorrow. How about that one? I shouldn't have chosen for y'all, but I mean, I think y'all would like it. I think you'll like Dogman, don't you?
Everybody likes Dogman.
They like to hear about it, so that's. Randy's asking, will it be at 7 or 8? It'll be 7, right?
Yeah, the pre-recordeds we drop those at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. We try to.
That way, we try not to interfere with some of the live streams of our friends.
Jamie says a terrorist hellhole. It is actually. It is a shithole, dude. There's nothing there. The Civil War, just tore that country's asshole apart, dude. I mean, just terrible. But anyways, thank you for tuning in and making PRT what it is. We really appreciate it. We got a lot coming down the pipe. There's a lot of work we're going to do. Hopefully, I'm going to do this, and if I can get my situation with my job straightened out with everything, I say this: please pray for us. Pray for us that we get work and things get better, and that we can continue doing the show and doing it the way we want on the schedule we want to do it on. But we don't have to alter everything to change to do. Oh boy, it's hard. It's really hard. We're struggling. We got a lot of people who work for us who are struggling. They want work. We don't have enough. So yeah, we just pray for us that we get things done. So if you guys stay strong, stay committed to Christ, stay believing in Christ, and do what you got to do. Pray. Do yourself the favor, okay? And pray every day and plead the blood of Jesus. Do what you got to do. And I tell you this so you'll be safe, and, ask God for protection in the name of Christ. Do it, because that will keep you safe. I'm telling you, that's the way. That's the ticket. That's the key. I'm telling you, there is no just easy path. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. What we're going to do, though, we're going to be here on Thursday, tomorrow night. We're going to be at pre-record. Friday, we have, what is it, with Sage Cooley. We have another one coming up with Sage. And then Saturday, we have True Crime Paranormal. Go to the channel, True Crime Paranormal. Please like and subscribe. Join the family. True Crime Paranormal, the part 2, the second one with Chris Watts. We get deeper into it, and then we get to the next one on the next week, and then we'll get into another person and their weird misdeeds. But that's going to keep going. And then we have the Dead Zone transmissions, which Nellie's channel, she drops one, I think, every Friday. And then we have True Crime Paranormal. It comes out on Saturday. And then we always have a guest on Friday on our show on Paranormal Roundtable. And then we have Random Files. We haven't dropped anything yet. We haven't decided what we're going to do yet first. But it's going to be a lot of different stuff. It's going to be more history, science, economics, whatever. It's going to be a little like shorter lectures. We decided we're not going to do like these hour-long shows at first. We're going to see how it works. And we're going to do these shorter shows. We're going to record them and then drop them. And then we're going to eventually do live streams too. But what we might do is random files. We'll talk about some stuff, right? And then we'll switch over and we'll do one early. We'll do that before PRT, and then we'll do PRT. So you'll get like a live stream on Random Files, which is a little bit of paranormal, but most, just regular stuff. And then we'll switch over to Paranormal Roundtable, which is mostly paranormal with a little bit of whatever. So that's how that's going to work. And we're thinking about, we're trying to figure out how we're going to do it, the formats, and how we're going to do this to bring you this knowledge. But we hope you tune in and you check out those shows. Please like and subscribe to us and to all these other channels that we mentioned. Thank you. We'll see you. Good night.
Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, a good shepherd is he, the one that guides me. Though in darkness I find myself alone, I lack nothing, for my God above me his throne. All his love he has shown. Though in darkness I walk alone, in a world so cold, this is my life above me his throne. A silent storm of chaos follows close behind, but in him comfort I find. I find still waters flow gently, reminding me in him I find safety. Though in darkness I walk alone, in a world so cold, this is my life above me his throne. I don't walk alone no matter where I go, on the highest mountain or the back alleyways. The Lord with me he stays. He restores my soul, renewed, unbroken, his righteousness spoken. Though in darkness I walk alone, in a world so cold, this is my life above me his throne. Guidance, protection, this is his love's reflection, guarding me from the opposition. The Lord's feet show me a righteous direction. Though in darkness I walk alone, in a world so cold, this is my life above me his throne. Overflowing blessings, anointed with oil, the Lord protects my soul from eternal turmoil. My cup overflows, his mercy he shows, abundance he sows. Though in darkness I walk alone, in a world so cold, this is my I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever, no matter where. For the Lord's goodness and mercy are in me, a faithful love entirely. Though in darkness I walk alone, in a world so cold, this is my life, above me His throne. I will fear no evil, for Thou art with me. I will fear no evil, for Thou